Joining me now is One Nation leader Pauline Hanson and former Speaker of the House Bronwyn Bishop. Great to see you both. Well, I guess I want to kick off.
Yes.
Bronwyn, I want to ask you, Susan Ley, is she in trouble? Is she going to survive? The Hastie, is it a challenge? Is it not? You've been through all of this many, many times. You know the ropes better than I certainly do.
Yes, I have, and I even lived through the Howard Peacock years, so yes, I know it very well. But the bottom line is, when you've suffered such a whacking defeat, what will happen is that people who've got something to say will come out and say it. And that's where ideas and policies then start to emerge. And then you can get a narrative that you've actually got something to sell. Now, that's what Tony Abbott did. He came out and he said, we're going to stop the boats. We're going to get rid of the carbon tax. And we're going to see growth in our economy. Now, what we need to see here is we've got to see reduction in government spending, lessening electricity prices, and giving people the right to defend their culture. You know, I remember going through some old papers recently, and a statement leapt at me off the page. If you have no culture, you have nothing to defend, because that's the essence of who you are and what you want to do. So
100%. That
strong message, those three things that I've just said, out of that strong message will develop policies that you then say we'll implement. But you've got to have that statement out there. Andrew Hastie's doing it. Senator Price is doing it. Doesn't matter if they've got titles or not. The thing is that they've got something to say, and people will want to listen to it, and they'll invite them along, and then those ideas will grow.
Now, Pauline, I want to ask you your opinion on the Liberal... I mean, you as One Nation have done phenomenally well. The polls are coming your way. You seem far more in touch as far as I'm concerned, and I saw it at CPAC last weekend. You are very much in touch with what I would call mainstream Australia in many instances. What's your... And I know you see One Nation as playing a key role in being the opposition to this dreadful Labor government. What, from your professional point of view, do you make of the Andrew Hastie, Susan Ley conundrum, I guess, for the Liberal Party?
Susan Ley won't last. There will be a challenge from Andrew Hastie. I don't believe it'll be this year, or possibly next year. Andrew takes it on. It's going to be a poison chalice. He's up against the moderates, the factions within the Liberal Party. They've actually taken over the Liberal Party. The biggest problem that we have is climate change and the destruction it's having on our country. John Howard started it with the carbon emissions, then it was taken up by Turnbull. Tony Abbott signed the Paris Agreement. Morrison ratified it. You've got all this that's happening within the Liberal Party. Hastie's going to have a real problem of turning it around, and I don't believe they want to get rid of net zero. Until we get rid of net zero, the country's buggered. There's no industries, manufacturing, the cost of living, the cost to ordinary Australians. Businesses are going under. So I think it's a big problem. And I'll tell you something also, Rowan, that I have a former Vice President of the Liberal Party that's coming across, a high profile, coming across the One Nation. That tells you something. As they said to me, the Liberal Party's had it. They're not in the direction where members want. The membership has grown with my party tremendously over this past week, especially since CPAC. And people came up to me and they said, thank Christ for that. Even people here waiting to speak to me, they said, you are our only hope, that we can only see the destruction of our nation. They want people to speak up for them. And that's what's happening. And I am, and I will, and I'm going to push the party forward.
And Pauline, I can actually vouch for that. Obviously, we were together at CPAC. When I got the cab to the airport in Brisbane there, the taxi driver, great bloke, he said to me, mate, he'd been watching the show earlier, and he said, you know what, it's Pauline Hanson for me. I was a dyed-in-the-wool Liberal for years and years and years, but now I'm gone One Nation, and so are my mates. So I can vouch for what you're saying, Pauline. Bronwyn.
Don't write them off.
Of course I'm not writing them off.
Can come back.
Over to you now.
No doubt about it that the Liberal Party is leaking votes to Pauline, and Pauline knows it because she is speaking out. But so are these other voices in the Liberal Party. And I believe that the strength of the Liberal Party will come through. But when we always talk about the centre, let's understand what that is. The Labor Party has dragged the centre into the left-wing gutter.
100%.
That's where it lies. What we've got to do is a real reflection of what the people want, and that is cheap electricity. It comes out loud and clear. Donald Trump has now seen investment in the United States 7.3%. Here in Australia, 1.7%. The fact of the matter is that we do everything in this country under this Labor Party that is stopping investment, stopping belief in the country's ability to churn out anything at all. Manufacturing is now down to 5.9%. It is pathetic. So there's the immigration question, the ability to manufacture things, as Hasty is saying, are absolutely paramount.
100%.
So
we're going to have to leave it there. So much common sense here on The World According to Rowan Dean. From both Bronwyn Bishop and Pauline Hanson, thank you so much.